What's up, Andropolis Nation? I'm your host, Josh Lee. And as always, we are here today for another Best Ball Mania draft. So let's get right into it. Let's just hop right into another draft room. We'll go ahead and share the screen. No dilly-dallying today. We're just going to hop right into another Best Ball Mania draft room. And while we're waiting on our 6 people to enter, sorry, just that one specific song has been stuck in my head. My girlfriend will sometimes play that song, and like she'll always have her TikTok on, and like I'll just hear it, and like it just has a catchy tune, and like it's just been stuck in my head, so I had to play it. Had to play it for the stream this morning. And it gets the blood pumping a little bit. So we're ready. We're ready to draft this $3 million team. And maybe if this is the team that wins the $3 million, I'll become an Ice Spice fan. But yeah, I'm excited today, guys. Yesterday we had that big announcement where we're going to be having a lot of guest streams this offseason. So I think I just scheduled the first one for tomorrow night. We're going to have our first guest stream tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So make sure you hop on the stream for that one. We're going to have the founder of the Undroppables, my main man, Chalk. And so that one should be a fun draft. I did a draft with him last summer, and that one was pretty cool. He has a lot of great insights. So I think we built a pretty good team, and I think we did make it out into the playoff rounds, but didn't advance any past the quarterfinals. So that's what we're hoping to do this year. We had 15 teams out of 47 make it to the quarterfinals last year, and did not have a single one in the semis. So building our team with a little bit more correlation so that we can get our teams through the playoff rounds, because we did a pretty good job of getting our teams to the playoffs last year. So try to make that extra step, get us a little bit further in the playoffs and have a few teams in the finals to sweat. But let's go ahead, and I think I'm going to start making this a more regular thing where we go to the 32 Beat Writers Twitter page just to make sure we're as up to date on all of the relevant OTA information. Evan Ingram not at OTAs. I mean, just players not there at OTAs doesn't make me concerned at all. Says money will be on D-Hop ending up with the Bills or the Chiefs. So Casey may not be as aggressive. They have belief Tony can be a future one. This is that's such a difficult notion to get behind, because like there's so much talk this offseason has been Tony. Kadarius Toney is a one. Andy Reid said Kadarius Toney is our one. Tony is like my one model says just like avoid this guy at all costs. So it's hard. It's hard. Coleman Knight says, first time here, brother. How's it going? What's up, Coleman? Good to have you on the stream. Welcome. Right now, just going through our model. Coleman, I don't know if you're familiar, but I built a model for Best Ball Mania. Do I have that model handy? I do not. Let me pull it up for you real quick, actually. How much time we got? We got 1 minute. One person. Okay. Let's pull up our model just so we can get Coleman hip. Got to code in a little bit. Pull up the Jupyter notebook. Here we go. So Coleman, the model that we use for Best Ball Mania has been built using XG Boost. And basically what we've done is we've segmented our data. It's all the Best Ball Mania data, all of the fantasy data from the past few years. And we basically trained our model on the past 7 years of data, of fantasy data. And we just to learn like which variables, which features are most important for predicting a player's fantasy output in the next season. So for us, that'll be 2023. So for quarterbacks, years experience, draft number, 2 years ago PPR, rushing EPA, BMI, all makes sense. Running backs have a little bit lower of an R squared, only at 37%. But 2 years ago PPR, years experience, draft number, BMI, age. Kind of what that tells me, 104. What that tells me is more so like for running backs, it's more about opportunity rather than running backs. It's a lot of running backs fantasy production is about injury, opportunity, and volume, less so actual talent. Does it tell you what build is supposed to be the most optimal? Kind of the theory which I'm going. Oh, Bijan 102. Oh, this is gonna be a fun draft. The theory which I'm going off of is that we shouldn't be as roster construction driven, and we should be more so player driven. Basically, the analysis which I did in this offseason was, damn it, I wanted Jamar Chase. I think we're going to go Cooper Kupp since that's our one. Yep, we're going to go Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is our model's number 1 player. Cooper Kupp is someone who I am very bullish on this season. Cooper Kupp, 288. He's our wide receiver 1. If we go to our Best Mania 4 rankings. Oh, what's happening? Did this get deleted somehow? That's odd. Okay. Well, let's just do this. We'll look at wide receivers. Sort by model rank. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver 1. Surprisingly, Jalen Waddle is our model's wide receiver 2. If Jalen Waddle can fall back to us, that would be pretty insane. Christian McCaffrey, 107. I mean, I expect Christian McCaffrey to kind of slide throughout the offseason just because these wide receivers are so valuable in Best Ball Mania. But Coleman, back to your question for all of you viewers at home. Coleman asked, does the model tell you what build is supposed to be the most optimal? The analysis that we did basically was, yes, like there are optimal ways we should be constructing our rosters, but not necessarily. You shouldn't be tying your draft to a specific build prior to the draft actually happening, because you have to be more fluid. You have to be reactive to how your room is drafting. So like if the draft, let's say you're at the 112 and the draft goes like 11 wide receivers before you, and the model has told you like, oh yeah, you should take a wide receiver in the first round. If 11 wide receivers go as the first 11 picks, it might not be optimal to draft the 12th wide receiver over taking the first running back or the first tight end like Travis Kelce. So I've made my model, I've made my hypothesis this offseason that we should be more player focused. And so what I'm doing for the Best Ball Data Bowl is I'm crafting a submission right now to basically prove out my hypothesis that we should be drafting our teams with a player-centric strategy. And that's why I have built this model to basically tell me who the values are at their current draft picks and who the traps are, who are the guys that are massively mispriced. And so the way that I view the Best Ball Mania market or any draft market or any draft in general is it's a market, and you are basically buying or selling players based off their ADP. So let's go ahead and just fill everything back in. Let's sort by ADP. Oops. Okay, and so we have Cooper Kupp to start it off. Jalen Waddle's still there. Let's hope for Jalen Waddle. If not Jalen Waddle, we'll probably go Saquon for the bring back. If neither of them are there, we're going to be shit out of luck, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably go Tony Pollard. My model doesn't love Tony Pollard. It says that he's 34 slots too high. But one thing that the model doesn't do, and the running back model is our one of our least accurate models. Actually, the tight end model was the least accurate. But Tony Pollard, he's got this massive opportunity in front of him. Yeah, don't love. I think I'm going to go Tony Pollard here. I have Cooper Kupp. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, Tony Pollard will be a pretty powerful start. If he goes, because Olave is one of our voids, right? Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. He goes Ridley. That is really high. Yeah, we're going to go Tony Pollard. I know our model says that we should be taking like a Josh Allen here. but I'm going to continue to make the bet that the quarterbacks are going to continue to fall. So we'll take Tony Pollard here at pick 21. Coleman says, do you think week 17 correlation is important as people make it out to be? Yes, but I'm going to caveat it by saying that week 17 correlation is like a booster at the end. You shouldn't, your number one priority shouldn't be week 17 correlation. You shouldn't be drafting your team solely with the goal of week 17 correlation. I think that so you shouldn't be like reaching massively past ADPs just so you can get the guy that correlates in week 17. I think you should get the players that are going to succeed throughout the season so that you can make it into the playoffs first, because you can't even get to week 17 if you don't make it past the playoffs or make it into the playoffs. So focus on making it into the playoffs first. And then once you've done that, then you focus on week 17. And the way that you do that in the draft rooms is you draft your team based off of which players are going to score the most points, obviously. And then kind of like a booster, like I said, you focus on drafting guys. Like it's like a tiebreaker between players. So like you want to be taking guys in the same tier, but using that week 17 guy as like your guide. That's kind of how I'm thinking about week 17 correlation this year. And hopefully it works out. But our pick is going to be one of the quarterbacks if they fall to us. If they don't, maybe we'll go Josh Jacobs or Derrick Henry. Because I like the running backs in this range a lot more than the wide receivers. Jalen Hurts goes. All right, I have a feeling Josh Allen's going to go too. Breece Hall. Okay, that guy is going a little crazy. Morphine, PRN. I will take either Josh Allen or Josh Jacobs. We'll take one of the Joshes. One of the Joshes with Josh. Let's go. Woo! We get Josh Allen. Let's go. I will take Mr. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is our number one player in our model. Yeah, Help him knows. Help him's been here. He's been here since the start. He says take the value where it falls. Never force it. If it happens, it happens. Exactly. If you go ahead and take a look at who won the DraftKings Millie Maker last year, he had like maybe 3 stacks. Out of all 20 players, he maybe had like 6 players that were stacked in week 17. It's more so important to just draft good players because good players score fantasy points. And what our model does is it tells us who's too expensive, who's too cheap. So the guy which I'm targeting in round 3, okay, so we were going to get Josh Jacobs or Josh Allen. The fact that Josh Allen fell to round 3 makes it a massive value, in my opinion. So loving our team so far. Josh Allen, Tony Pollard, Cooper Kupp. And we're going to see who falls to us in 10 picks. So in the 4th round, our main targets in the 4th round. Okay, so we have a quarterback, so we're not going to get Burrow or Fields. We could look at Najee, Judy, Terry, DJ Moore, Drake London. I need more Drake London, so I'm going to prioritize Drake London here if he's there. Oh, did Drake London? Oh, is he slipped? Okay, he's at pick 46.7. And we're at 45. Okay. Well, we'll take Drake London if he falls to us. Making a little Americana here on the stream. Ooh. There we go. Coleman says, it seems like the QBs are finally starting to slide. Yeah, that's what I've kind of been banking on all offseason. I don't think I drafted any, maybe one Kelsey Mahomes stack, but I haven't drafted like any second round quarterbacks because I have been waiting for them to slide into the 3rd round. I'd be surprised if they slid into the 4th. But I mean, in my opinion, getting Josh Allen here at pick 28 just felt like money. It felt like pure money in the bank. So I'm happy with Josh Allen. I mean, I saw a lot. There were a few teams that made it to the Ball Mania finals last season by taking Josh Allen like at the end of the 3rd. So taking him at the beginning of the 3rd doesn't seem too crippling to me. Helpum says, I still like London this year, even though people are scared Atlanta will run the ball all day. I mean, I think they will run the ball. They will be a run-first offense, but like that team is going to be – I think that team's going to be good. The NFC South is going to suck this year. So they're going to be playing against very, very soft defenses. And Drake London's going to eat because of it. So, yeah. Travis, so you're talking about Travis Etienne. Coleman says Travis is just too expensive for me this year. My model disagrees. I mean, my model agrees with you. My model says Travis Etienne is too expensive too. Etienne's one of our avoids in round 4. but I like ETN. Obviously, the cheaper bet on that in that Jags backfield is Tank Bigsby much later. Maybe they should be a little bit closer in terms of their ADPs. But what's his name? Travis Etienne, I think, is a dog. Travis Etienne is a first-round NFL draft pick running back. Typically, those running backs succeed. I know Doug Peterson. We've always hated Doug Peterson in the past for using committees in his backfields. I think that's going to kind of be the case again this year. He's probably going to use a committee. But I think ETN is still going to be the lead back in that backfield, and he's going to get solid fantasy production. Oh, Coleman says Kelce. I disagree. I love Travis Kelce. My model loves Travis Kelce. Let me go ahead and show. Hold on. Let me make this draft pick, and then Coleman. Let me show you something that might change your mind. But hoping for Drake London here. Drake London just gets taken. We'll probably get DJ Moore then. DJ Moore is one of our targets. Where's DJ Moore on here? DJ Moore. Okay. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. I know that Mike Williams, Keenan Allen are both here. I just like DJ Moore a little bit better. I've always been a huge DJ Moore fan. Getting him at the end of the fourth feels about right for where he should be priced. I think he was going in the third round last year. Justin Fields is the best quarterback that he's ever played with. And DJ Moore is just one of those guys which I can rely on to be a consistent player for me. He doesn't have an injury history that like Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. And I like taking a swing on Quentin Johnston as the Chargers wide receiver that I like to target rather than Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. I do like Keenan Allen a little bit more than Mike Williams. There's a lot of uncertainty around Mike Williams right now. He's not at OTAs. There's talks that he had surgery in the offseason and that is what's hindering him, and that's why he's not at OTAs. So before that resolution before we know more about Mike Williams' situation, I will be kind of avoiding him at ADP. Crazy that Joe Burrow is sliding, though. Joe Burrow is available here in the fifth. All right, our fifth round value picks are Herbert, Mixon, Kirk, Walker, Pittman, Aaron Jones. Is Mixon here? Mixon is here. I think we're going to prioritize Joe Mixon at our pick. Could do Joe Mixon or Kenneth Walker. Pittman is also a target. Kirk is gone. Michael Pittman, there's no correlation there. Indianapolis plays Las Vegas, Cincinnati, Seattle. I actually don't have any exposure to Aaron Jones yet. Aaron Jones is a target. Mixon is the favored target, though. Dallas, Green Bay, Buffalo, LA Rams, Chicago, Green Bay, Cincinnati. All right, we're going to go Joe Mixon. I know that there's a lot of risk with Joe Mixon, but I'm going to keep drafting Joe Mixon until he continues to rise because my model basically says that, Joe Mixon is one of our prime targets in the fifth round. Because Joe Mixon, my model has him graded out as a top 6 running back this season. And I believe it. Like Joe Mixon was RB3 2 years ago. He was RB10 last year, and people call it a bad year. I know there's risk with his legal situation, but I don't think that he's going to get in any trouble. The Bengals didn't draft a running back until the 5th round. And that gives, since it seems like they're confident, they let P. Ryan walk. They haven't signed anybody. Since they're confident, I'm confident that Mixon's going to be the starting running back for the Bengals. And the Bengals are going to score a lot of touchdowns this year. So I feel good about it. Okay, we'll take Aaron Jones if he slips to us. There's almost no way Aaron Jones slips to us. But we'll also look at JSN, Brandon Ayuk, Kyle Pitts, Mike Evans, Tyler Lockett, Jordan Addison, Dallas Goedert, Hollywood Brown. Those would be our next options. Swift, Pickens, Deontay, Treylon. Okay. But Coleman, let me go ahead and show you what our model says about tight ends. I'm so confused why this first sheet is empty now. That's really odd, but okay. Back to all right, we'll go here. So Coleman, I want you to see the difference in predicted points for between tight end 1 and tight end 2. I know that this is kind of how it was last year, and basically we're kind of expecting that again because Travis Kelce is essentially the wide receiver 1 on the Kansas City Chiefs. The fact that you can get Patrick Mahomes' number 1 target and put him in the tight end position is kind of a cheat code because there's no other tight end that has that upside, that has that potential. So Travis Kelce, where he's going, I've been drafting a bunch of him because he is such an elite advantage over the rest of your draft room. Okay, there's some guy that has Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CMC, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill. So the way that you put to build leverage in your team in order to beat those teams is by drafting Travis Kelce. And I think he is the best option over some of the other wide receivers in that range. My model likes him as, let's see. The only 2 wide receivers that we like over him are Kupp and Diggs. Otherwise, I'm taking Kelce. Obviously, Jamar, Justin Jefferson are targets of ours as well. But after those guys, it's Travis Kelce. Coleman says, I agree. I'm a Chargers fan. The thing is, Johnson is a body catcher, and Herbie isn't the type of QB you want to be a body catcher with, IMO. I think that's fake news. I mean, the narrative around Twitter and dynasty circles has been, Quentin Johnston's a body catcher. I mean, who gives a shit? Like he's a big body receiver who's extremely athletic with the ball in his hands. Justin Herbert's going to get him the ball. He's going to catch it, whether it's with his hands, with his body, and he's going to have a bunch of yak. Those are the types of players that we want to target in best ball because what's his name? Philippe Toussaint he has a submission in the best ball data bowl, and one of the most predictive variables for wide receivers moving into next season is yak ability. So I really like Quentin Johnston as a best ball pick this year. Helton says, I wouldn't worry about Tyreek's one of the best receivers in the league, and he's a huge body catcher. Yeah, I mean, beast. And I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Pitts here. I don't have enough Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts has some correlation with DJ Moore, week 17. So there you go. To answer you, Coleman, are we going to be looking at week 17 correlation? How important is it? Well, we built in a little bit of correlation right here with Kyle Pitts and DJ Moore. They play in week 17. I know the game's in Chicago, so that might not be the best game to target, but I think Kyle Pitts is just a value this season. Kyle Pitts is an insanely talented tight end. And I expect the entire Atlanta Falcons offense to take a step forward. So I'm happy with it. I'm happy taking Kyle Pitts here. Our model has Kyle Pitts as tight end 3, and with a potential for a lot more. So give me Kyle Pitts at pick 69. That feels like money in the bank. Kyle Pitts. He's someone that I've been trying to draft more of this offseason, and then I finally get him on this team. So this is looking like a beautiful team that we're building out. If we can get Hollywood or Deontay here, I think that would be perfect. Maybe if Dallas Goedert falls to us, we'll just go like bully tight end and grab 2 of the elite guys. That'd be pretty interesting. I haven't done any bully tight end builds yet. I mean, I guess I don't want to draft 2 tight ends in the tight end 5 to 6 range. That might be a little bit gross. I get Dallas Goedert goes anyway, so that kind of eliminates that. But I'm happy we're going to get one of the top 4 wide receivers. Maybe we go ahead and grab Gabe Davis to stack him with Josh Allen if Hollywood doesn't make it to us. Let me look at where Gabe Davis is in our rankings. Gabe Davis is a 1 round avoid, but because if the Bills sign D-Hop, that would crater Gabe Davis's value, and I'd be able to draft him a lot later. I mean, obviously, if Hollywood's there, we're going to take him since he is our model's target. Where we're going to be in round 7? Yeah, round 7. Our targets are Deshaun, Swift, Deontay. Okay, if Hollywood's not there, we're going to take Deontay. And then if Deontay's not there, we'll take Gabe Davis just for the correlation. So We'll see. We'll see who makes it to us. I'm happy with this picking of wide receivers here, though, at 7-4. I'm glad that I took Pitts at 69. I was thinking about taking Pitts. All right, Hollywood does not make it to us. That's unfortunate. Coleman asked thoughts on Burks and Pickens this year. I like them both. I like taking bets on year 2 wide receivers. And those are 2 guys who are, in my opinion, extremely talented. Burks was one of my favorite wide receivers coming out of college last year. I have him in a few dynasties. Pickens goes, so we will take Deontay. Deontay is just so undervalued. It's insane that that Deontay goes here in the 7th round. It's criminal that Deontay Johnson goes at pick 70. That I can get Deontay Johnson at pick 76. Deontay Johnson is one of my model's favorite players, just because. Like let's look at the wide receiver position. Deontay Johnson is ranked at wide receiver 18, and we're able to get him at wide receiver 40, wide receiver 38. That is pretty insane to me. And that's just pure value. I'm super excited that I can get Deontay Johnson on this sort of team. I actually expect both Steelers wide receivers to kind of rise in the offseason, but maybe they don't. And you'll just be able to continue to draft Deontay Johnson in the 7th round, which just would be insane to me, but beautiful, because we'd be able to keep building these sorts of teams. Coleman says he's a big Burks fan. Played him in high school. They played him at QB and we couldn't tackle him. But that Treylon Burks is a big boy. That is one big dude. So I know in his first year, he was basically learning a new position, because at Arkansas, he was used more as like a gadget sort of wide receiver, like a big slot essentially. They threw him a lot of screens. They threw him a lot of kind of finicky passes where they were able to get him the ball behind the line of scrimmage and just let him make plays. Obviously, that sort of style isn't as used as heavily in the NFL, because all of the players are all so big and so athletic. So Treylon Burks isn't able to succeed in that sort of role. Maybe he would. It's not used like that in Tennessee. But Mike Vrabel was basically trying to put Treylon Burks in the A.J. Brown sort of role, because A.J. Brown was massively successful in that. They traded A.J. Brown straight up for Treylon Burks. So they're hoping that Treylon Burks can basically be that one-for-one sort of replacement. I think Treylon Burks is athletic enough, big enough, talented enough to learn and develop into that sort of role. So we're hoping that he takes another step in his development, because in the first year, it looked like he was still learning the ropes, still figuring it out. But this year, I like taking the bet on him to make that step forward. He is the wide receiver 1 on the Tennessee Titans offense. So being able to get him in the 7th round is a good value, in my opinion. The model doesn't like him as much, but I don't think the model is able to grasp year 2 breakouts as well as we'd hope that it would. Where's Treylon Burks? Treylon Burks right here is in wide receiver 42. That's not too much far off from where he's getting drafted at like wide receiver like 38. So he's a fine bet, in my opinion. But okay, back to the draft. We're 7 picks away. We have our 3 wide receivers, but I think if Michael Thomas falls to us, we'll go ahead and take Michael Thomas, because he looks like the top wide receiver on the board. He's one of our round 8 targets. Dak, Connor, MT, Monty is our top 4. Maybe if James Conner makes it to us, we'll see who we would rather pick. I think if James Conner makes it to us, we would definitely take him, because that would be a massive value. I don't think James Conner makes it to us, but we can just hope and pray. But those are our top 3 guys. Deshaun goes, it's fine. We're not focused on him. Going back a little bit, Helpin says hopefully Deontay can bounce back from his 0 touchdown season. I think it's almost inevitable that he scores at least 1 touchdown. I think he's going to score. I think he was expected, 6 touchdowns last year. I think he scores that. This Pittsburgh offense should take a massive step forward in Kenny Pickett's year 2. So I'm excited. I'm excited for the Steelers this year. I'm a fan of Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett will be good this year. But we'll see who falls to us. Help him. Who are you referring to? Were you referring to Treylon Burks? We'll see. All right, Michael Thomas goes. Maybe since we have Tony Pollard. Monty goes. This is tough now. Who do I take here? Do I say screw it and just take Kamara? It is a little bit of a reach on Kamara, but I know we're taking two of the suspension boys, but fuck it, we're taking Kamara. Kamara's our RB3 is money, in my opinion. Kamara is one of our round 9 targets, but I'm fine taking him in round 8. Actually, our model is kind of crazy on the running backs. Like I said, the running backs definitely missing some context. But let's take a look at the running back model. The running back model loves Kamara and Mixon. Puts Kamara and Mixon in the same sort of category as Christian McCaffrey, and you're able to get them much, much later. So I'm getting two of my model's favorite players, and two of my favorite players. I think these two boys are extremely, extremely talented, very, very athletic, have the build to be workhorse running backs again this year. I know that they're approaching that age cliff, but I like them to perform again this year. There's the reason that these guys are getting pushed down the board right now is because of the uncertainty around their legal situations. Yes, there is that risk, but we're drafting in May. The way that we take advantage of these mispriced players right now is drafting them now while there's all this uncertainty around them so that come closing line in September, maybe these guys' legal situations kind of resolve and they don't have any suspensions, and then we get them at massive discounts. So that's the kind of bets that I like to take all the way here in May, because we're going to be drafting a bunch of teams. If they're zeros, they're zeros. This team is dead anyways. But if they hit, this team could very well go to the finals because it's built with just workhorse running backs through and through. Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, workhorse running backs through and through. I think if it falls to me, we'll go ahead and take JMO because we have Tony Pollard for that bring back. We can either take JMO or Juju. Juju for the Josh Allen bring back. Let's see who's our targets and fades in round 10. We're in round 9. Kamara, Cousins, Danny Dimes, Tua, Dylan, and Joku. Dak is still here. He's not anymore. We'll go either JMO or Juju here. I think we'll go JMO as our wide receiver 4 because I think our 3 wide receivers right now are strong enough to carry JMO through the first 6 weeks. And then JMO is just a massive swing for the fences sort of pick. I know that JMO has the potential to bust, but I'm okay with drafting JMO because I'm a big fan of JMO. JMO was my league winner last year. Obviously, that didn't come to fruition, but that's because he didn't play. This year, let's run it back. Run it back. JMO league winner. Jameson Williams, he was incredible at Alabama. Absolutely incredible. So being able to get him in the 9th round feels about right for him missing the first 6 weeks of the season. And again, I have 3 wide receivers that can fill in my wide receiver position week in, week out for the first 6 weeks to basically cover for Jameson Williams being suspended. But here we go. Let's see who else we're going to want to look at. I don't have a whole lot of correlation built in so far. I know we have Tony Pollard, JMO. We have DJ Moore, Kyle Pitts, Cooper Kupp, and Bleh. Maybe we'll stack Cooper Kupp with Matthew Stafford in round 4. We can get Stafford in round 14. That's crazy. Okay, so we're going to be going into the 10th round. Our 10th round targets are Geno Smith, Aaron Rodgers, Antonio Gibson, Alan Lazard, Jacoby Myers, and Pat Freiermuth. Well, if Juju some up, Juju. I don't think Pat Freiermuth is going to fall. I mean, maybe if Danny Dimes comes back, we could look at him. Alan Lazard. Fuck it, Rodgers. Geno Smith, Jacoby Myers, Antonio Gibson. Maybe Damian Harris for the Josh Allen correlation. Maybe we'll even look at Dalton Kincaid just because we have our tight end position already sorted out with Kyle Pitts. And we just go 2 tight ends with Dalton Kincaid and Kyle Pitts. That could be kind of dirty. Chicago. Okay, sorry. Let's see. We are 8 picks away. We'd be at pick 117. I think since we're a little bit thin at wide receiver right now, we could prioritize Alan Lazard. Do we have any more correlation that we can build in? I like Sky Moore, Zay Jones, Darnell Mooney. Mingo is someone we could look at. We do have JMO, so we could look at Jared. We could look at Jared Goff. Model likes Jared Goff a lot as well. Dalton Schultz falls back to us. Look at Dalton Schultz. I don't want to take Kendra since we already have Kamara. Michael Gallup is someone we can look at as a bring back against JMO, or I guess we could just put out the Dallas stack. Okay, let's stick right there for now. Okay, we're coming up in round 10. Okay, Alan Lazard gets taken. That's unfortunate. He went at 10-1. I think if Gibson falls to us, we'll take Gibson, and just those would be our 4 running backs basically. Maybe we'll look for a 5th, but I would feel pretty comfortable with those running backs right now. Like I said, Antonio Gibson. I've been saying it all offseason. Antonio Gibson is going to be a league winner. He's just a great running back. Antonio Gibson got taken. Unfortunate. Could look at Devin A-Chain. I have a lot of Devin A-Chain already, or maybe Damian Harris for the Buffalo correlation. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and get Jacoby Myers because we need to be drafting more receivers. There's not a whole lot of correlation there, but Jacoby Myers, I think, is just a good player. And the fact that I can get him in the 10th round, he's one of our model's targets. So I like Jacoby. I like grabbing Jacoby Myers here in the 10th round. 11th round, we'll look at Goff, Zay, Schultz, or Mooney. Or if Damon Harris or Dalton Kincaid fall to us, we'll take one of them for the correlation with Josh Allen. But okay. We got DJ Moore. So right now, so far, let me go through the roster. We got Josh Allen at quarterback, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara at running back, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jameson Williams, Jacoby Myers at wide receiver, and Kyle Pitts at tight end. I'm really liking this team so far. It's looking pretty strong. I think getting a Buffalo boy here would be optimal. Maybe instead of Damian Harris, we could even take Latavius Murray in the 18th round because someone's going to be taking the goal line work off of Josh Allen's back. Damian Harris or Latavius Murray could be either one of those guys. I think Damian Harris might be kind of the grinder for the Buffalo Bills. They signed up. What was Damian Harris's contract? Four-year. Oh, no. Signed a 1-year, $1.7 million deal with them. Okay. I think if Damian Harris falls to us, we'll go ahead and hit the button on Damian Harris. If he doesn't, we'll go ahead and hit the button on Dalton Kincaid. Actually, this is a tough spot. Do I prioritize Dalton Kincaid or Damian Harris? Well, this guy already has 4 quarterbacks. What's this guy doing? Justin Fields, Joe Burrow, Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott. Okay, he's a dead team. And he takes Damian Harris. Okay, that's fine. That's a dead team, and we're not going to worry about that at all. So we'll go Dalton Kincaid or Zay Jones. Maybe we just avoid Dalton Kincaid at this price right here, and we just go Zay Jones. Just keep following the model. I think we'll prioritize Zay Jones. We're just going to keep following the model. I like what the model is putting out. He takes Zay Jones. Good pick. The model also likes Darnell Mooney or Khalil Herbert. Herbert's gone though, right? Yeah, Khalil Herbert's gone. Screw it. We're going Kincaid. This is just one of those swing for the fences sort of picks again. Kincaid and Pitts feels like a pretty solid tight end room. I'm not going to touch tight ends anymore. It's definitely expensive for Dalton Kincaid. I've been taking a lot of Dawson Knox later in drafts because of that upside. I mean, Dawson Knox is one of our model's favorite players in round 15. But I mean, we get the correlation here. It's paying for basically it's building on the assumption that Dalton Kincaid is going to be used like how Brandon Beane is telling us he's going to be used. Basically, what Brandon Beane said in the offseason that Dalton Kincaid is going to be used like a big slot receiver. And I can believe it because Dalton Kincaid was used that way in college as well. So he already has that rapport, already has that already has the experience in playing that sort of position. So I like taking a bet on Dalton Kincaid to basically replicate that sort of usage that he had in college, also in the NFL. I wonder if, see if we can look at, I think the edge from the, I don't know, they don't have college stats, do they? Their player profiler has it. Can we look at Dalton Kincaid's slot usage? I wonder if actually Pahouty might have it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at Pahouty's database. If you guys don't follow Pahouty already, you guys should take a look at Pahouty's database. It's pretty well built out. Dalton Kincaid is right here, and we'll look at his slot usage. Come on, where is it? Receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. Where's his slot percentage? Slot rate. So he's used 55% out of the slot this past offseason, or this past season at Utah. So he has the experience. He has the experience playing out of the slot. 2.42 yards per route run. That's in line with a lot of top wide receivers this offseason. So I like taking the bet on Dalton Kincaid. And we're not going to touch the tight end position anymore because we've spent a decent amount of draft capital on those two players. Coleman says that's wild. What's wild, Coleman? But okay, let's see. Probably go Alec Pierce as our top option for the correlation with Jacoby Myers week 17. I like Alec Pierce at cost. He seems a little bit too cheap. Slot usage, yeah. Dalton Kincaid, he was the Utah Utes wide receiver 1. Let me go ahead and show y'all and why I'm so bullish on Dalton Kincaid. I have a decent amount of him, actually. Look at the receiving. Top receiver for Utah this past season, Dalton Kincaid. 70 receptions, 890 yards, 8 touchdowns. On a team that won 10-4, finished 10th in the final AP poll. Take a look at his game logs. His game logs are crazy. I remember whenever I took a look at Utah Utes game log, it was phenomenal. Right, we're one pick away. Alec Pierce is definitely the pick here. Jerick McKinnon has kind of slid, but we don't have any Cincinnati players. Ooh, Tank Bigsby goes right there. I do like Tank Bigsby. But we're going to go ahead and hit the button on Alec Pierce for the bring back against Jacoby Myers. So like that pick a lot. But back to Dalton Kincaid. Let me go ahead and show y'all some of his game logs. Like, look at this. 4 for 75 and 2. 1 for 37, obviously not great. 3 for 9, not great again. Oh, this is 2021. We got to go to 2022, guys. 2022, he absolutely popped off. But okay. In his first game against Florida, not great. 2 for 29. Southern Utah, 7 for 107 and 2. San Diego State, 3 for 38. Arizona State, 4 for 66 and 2. Oregon State, 3 for 17 and 1. UCLA, 4 for 67. Against USC. What a big Power 5 school. 16 for 234 and 1. What kind of, oh my God. 16 for 234 and 1. Then again, next week against Washington State, 7 for 56 and 1. Stanford, 4 for 35. Against Oregon, 11 for 99. Then against Colorado, 5 for 102 and 1. And against USC again, 4 for 40. I bet you they changed everything up in that. That was the Pac-12 championship game, I want to say. They definitely had their complete defensive game plan focused around defending Dalton Kincaid. So when you can draft that sort of guy in the 11th round on the Buffalo Bills, kind of crazy. You think Kincaid going to have a rookie year like Pitts? It's possible. He's good enough where he can replicate a Kyle Pitts sort of season. I mean, Kyle Pitts had an insane college career, so I'm not going to say that the two are comparable quite yet. But if Buffalo uses Dalton Kincaid like they want to, like they say how they're going to, he has the upside to have a Pitts sort of rookie year. So I like that I can stack him with Josh Allen here, and I like taking that sort of bet. But okay. Back to the draft. We don't need any of these quarterbacks. Oh, does Stafford go? No, Matt Stafford's still on the board. Let's go. Stafford's our 14th round target, right? So we can go 13 someone else and then 14th round, pick 165. We'd have to bank on Matthew Stafford sliding a little bit, but we're going to do that so we can build out our team optimally. We'll go either Osborne, DPJ, or Algier here. Osborne, Algier, or DPJ. Or maybe we could even go like a Jaden Reed because I don't have any Jaden Reed yet, and I do want more of him. We're up next, pick 148. I don't want to reach 10 picks. All right, let's see who we have the most correlation with. KJ Osborne goes. It's okay. Atlanta. I guess we do have a little bit of correlation with Atlanta. We could go Algier. Donovan Peoples-Jones plays the Jets. We don't have any Jets players or Cleveland players. Green Bay. We don't have any Minnesota. All right. I think Algier's our pick here. I like Algier here. Algier feels like he's being faded a little bit too hard because Bijan Robinson got brought into Atlanta. I mean, but we have to remember, Arthur Smith likes using multiple running backs. Tyler Algier was one of the most efficient running backs in the NFL last season. And he's getting pushed down to the 13th round because of the introduction of Bijan Robinson. I know Bijan Robinson is going to get used. He's going to get abused by Arthur Smith. But I actually expect Algier to get still 100 carries. Because how many carries did Algier get last season? He had 100. He had 1,000 rushing yards last season, and he had 210 attempts for 1,035 yards and 3 touchdowns, 4.9 yards per carry. It's pretty freaking good. Yeah, and he looked good while doing it too. So I am happy with taking Tyler Algier. He was 5th in Offensive Rookie of the Year voting. Jaden Reed goes a little bit after, but I like it. I like taking Algier. Helpum says exposure 52% Algier. That is very high, my friend. But I can get behind it because Algier I think is a little bit too mispriced down here. I'll take him as my 4th running back, stacking him with DJ Moore and Kyle Pitts. But Stafford is the priority here. Hopefully the Higbee guy doesn't take. Where is Higbee? Oh, when did Higbee go? Whoa, Higbee's supposed to. What? Did someone reach on Higbee? Higbee in the 12th. Uh-oh. He might take. Does he have 2 quarterbacks already? Okay, he already has 2 quarterbacks. Let's hope that our Derbies doesn't take our boy Matthew Stafford. He might, though, because he's going a little bit of a late-round quarterback sort of vibe. If he does take Stafford, maybe we go and just wait until 18th round to take Desmond Ridder. We'll see, though. We'll see who falls to us. We're good on tight end. We don't need to look at any of those guys. Could look at Donta Foreman, Marvin Mims, Devin Singletary. Rondale Moore, like him here, too. Jeff Wilson. Wandale for the Cooper Kupp bring back. Coleman asked how many drafts you normally do on stream. I typically do 2 drafts on stream. But today might be a little bit different because I do have a meeting at 1:00. So good. I might come back on later though. So Coleman, just stay tuned. Let's see. Who else could we look at? I don't want Dawson Knox. We could go Hunter Renfrow with the stack with Jacoby Myers. Who is our model's 14th round? 14th round target. Stafford, Singletary, Foreman, Everett, Rondale. I think a lot of those guys are on the board still. Yeah. So if DPJ falls to us, I think so obviously Stafford's going to be the target. If Stafford gets taken, we'll go DPJ. If DPJ is gone, we'll go Rondale. Because right now we have 1-4-6-2. I like it, guys. I like it a lot. This team feels very, very strong. It feels very strong. We could go another Detroit or Dallas boy. We'll see, though. All right, our Derby's passed on Stafford. Hopefully that means Stafford's fallen to us. Would be huge, guys. Would be huge. Big Stafford fan. I'm a big Stafford fan. I think that he's in for a big bounce back year after having probably the worst year of his career last year. But let's see if I recognize any of the names in the Mare Bear, Mech, Morphine, Game Gods. Nope, don't recognize any of these guys. What teams are kind of dead already? I know Mech is a little bit dead by taking 4 quarterbacks in the first 9 rounds. He's probably a little bit dead. Everyone else looks to be making very reasonable rosters, reasonable bets. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and take Matthew Stafford. He's our top guy on the board. He's our second quarterback to be able to stack him with Cooper Kupp. Feels strong. Feels powerful. Stafford and Josh Allen are our quarterbacks. Wow, that's kind of beautiful. Running backs, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Tyler Algier. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, J-Mo, Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid. We definitely need to just be hammering the wide receivers now because we have our 2 quarterbacks. We have our 2 tight ends that we're good with. I don't think I need to focus on either one of those positions anymore. We have solid buy exposure or buy splits. So going to be looking at running backs and wide receivers, probably more so on the wide receiver end because we will have a dead JMO through the first 6 weeks. DPJ falls to us, MVS, like both of those. Our 15th round targets are Pickett, Zeke, Jeff Wilson, Knox, and Wandale. DPJ was a 13th round target, so if he falls to the 15th, we're going to be more than happy with that. We could also look at a Wandale Robinson. So DPJ goes. I think we're going to get Wandale for the bring back against the Stafford Cooper Cup in week 17. MVS goes. We could also look at Devin Singletary as our 5th running back. Do we have any Houston, Miami, or Houston, Tennessee bringbacks? No. Singletary goes. Okay. I think the pick is Wandale. Because I like Wandale. I feel like I don't have enough Wandale. Wandale is just a great player. He's a great player. And I know he tore his ACL, but he's still very, very young. I expect him to bounce back in a big way. The Giants need wide receiver help. And I think when Wandale was healthy, he was kind of the de facto primary target for Daniel Jones. And I like the Giants offense to continue to advance, to continue to take a step forward. So we'll take Wandale. I know Jeff Wilson's also a target, but I think we need to focus a little bit more on the wide receiver room over the running back room. So Wandale feels like the pick here. Wandale Robinson, come on down. I don't have too much of him, so I'm happy to get him here. Jeff Wilson goes, very next pick. Okay. So we're going to be back on the board in a little bit. Claypool is the target for the 16th round. Let's go ahead and mark Claypool down. We do like Hodgins. Who said he liked Mechie? Help him a little bit earlier said he likes John Mechie this year too. I think he'll have a big season. I like John Mechie a lot. Tyquan Thornton gets taken a little bit ahead of ADP. I like Tyquan Thornton too, but not going to be one of my primary bets this offseason. Where's Mr. Claypool? Claypool get taken? Did Mr. Claypool get reached on? He is not. Is he further down the board than I thought he was? Oh, yeah, he's all the way here at pick 191. What pick are we going to be? We're going to be at pick 189. Okay, so Chase Claypool is, I think, our primary target to stack him with DJ Moore, get a little bit more of that Atlanta-Chicago game week 17. That's going to be a kind of a gross game in the Chicago cold, but Chase Claypool is used to it. He used to play in Pittsburgh. He was putting up big touchdown numbers in those in that frigid Pittsburgh weather. Coleman says he's a lot of Samuel and Renfro. I like those 2 players. I liked Renfro a lot last year in Ball Mania. Unfortunately, he was hurt and did not play a single game last year. And I like Curtis Samuel. I'm a Washington Commanders fan, so love all my Washington Commanders boys. That's why I got my boy. Oh, I didn't get my boy Antonio Gibson on this team. Oops. Caught alive. Very blessed indeed. Welcome to the show. Chase Claypool still the top option for us. Maybe even could look at Zeke as our 5th running back. Maybe even like a Jerome Ford. Do we have any Cleveland, New York Jets? We don't have any correlation there. But I think our 8th wide receiver will be Chase Claypool if he falls to us, just to get more correlation with that Chicago-Atlanta game at these cheap prices. So who got taken? Chuba, however you pronounce it. Chuba Bubba. Las Vegas, Indianapolis. I guess there's a little bit of correlation there. Khalil Shakir. I don't think our model likes Khalil Shakir. Shakir. Where's Shakir on here? Khalil Shakir does look like an avoid. And I think they liked Hardy, right? Deontay Hardy is also an avoid. So I guess not. Never mind. Mechie gets taken. Help him says, can't wait to get in a draft so I can snipe you on Gibson every time. That's just cruel. Help him. That's cruel. How are you gonna take my boy like that? That's mean. That's mean. Go ahead. You can try. Try to snipe Antonio Gibson from me. I challenge you. Who's gonna draft him first? I'll take him all the way up in the 8th round. But no, I joke. You should not be reaching on players like that because I'll have plenty of drafts without help them in there trying to snipe me on Antonio Gibson, where I can get Antonio Gibson at cost and get a normal 8th round pick in there, like an Alvin Kamara in the 8th round. Stack him Alvin Kamara with Antonio Gibson. That's kind of powerful. Very blessed indeed asks, is there a way to get your model? Not yet. I am going to try to draft as many teams while having the edge of my model. And then later on in the offseason, I will release my model. You can go ahead and follow me at Joshua J. Hyun. It's not in. Oh, yeah, there it is. It is in the tag down below where you can. I will be releasing my model. I'll be releasing a lot of insights throughout the offseason. So go ahead and give me a follow on Twitter. But okay, it looks like as long as Game God doesn't snipe me, we will be able to get Mr. Chase Claypool. So let's go ahead and hit the draft button on Chase Claypool here in the 16th round. So we have 2 picks left. We're at 2-4-8-2. I think we're going to want to go another running back if Zeke falls to us, because Zeke was one of our 16th round targets. Zeke was one of our 15th round targets. So Zeke falls to us in the 17th round. We will take that. If he does not, we will look at Mr. Leonard Fournette. And then if Lenny doesn't make it to us, we are shit out of luck. No, I'm kidding. Maybe we take Zach Evans. I don't know. We'll see. Dallas, Detroit. Who's the? Oh, actually, I like Clyde down here. Always like me, Mr. Clyde Edwards-Helaire down there. Or Mr. Latavius. So Latavius is going a little bit too late, in my opinion. I mean, his last 3 years. I mean, he's put up 98, 140 in the last 2 years. I mean, I know Latavius Murray is 33 years old, but they signed him for a reason. He's going to get used. I mean, he's a big body back. They want to use the running backs more rather than having to pummel Josh Allen into the line, have him at risk for injury. So we're going to go ahead and take either Leonard Fournette or Clyde Edwards-Helaire at our 17th round pick. And then maybe we go Latavius Murray as our 18th round pick. We'll either consider a 6th running back or a 9th wide receiver. Maybe we go Khalil Shakir in the 18th. I don't know. I like Josh Palmer. Marvin Jones I like as well. Darius Slayton. Maybe we go Puka. Where's Puka? Puka Nakua. Khalil Shakir gets taken. Okay. Let's see who else. Ferguson. We could go Jake Ferguson. Corey Davis, Terrace Marshall, Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry bring back against the Buffalo boys. I kind of do want one Buffalo wide receiver, though. Deontay Hardy is here. I don't love taking Deontay Hardy. That feels a little bit minus EV. We could go Lenny. Yeah, I think we're going to go Lenny. Leonard Fournette, just going way too late. Way too late. Very blessed indeed says take Charlie Jones. I have plenty of Charlie Jones on my Joe Burrow team, so I will not be taking him on this team since he is not correlated with Mr. Josh Allen or Matthew Stafford. But don't worry, I'm hip to Charlie Jones. I've been drafting plenty of him. But with our last pick, we could take Clyde. We could take Latavius. I don't know what we're going to do yet. We took Lenny with our 5th round pick. Puka is a sneaky pickup too. That wide receiving core is gross outside of Cup. Yeah, maybe we'll go Puka. I don't know yet. Haven't decided yet. We're either going Puka or Clyde or Latavius. So we'll move him to the top. Maybe Deontay Hardy. Is there any other Buffalo wide receivers? Let's take a look at the Buffalo Bills. They could just sign the top and then just like everything goes out the window there. So it's tough to say. Let me close these other tabs. Justin Shorter is the wide receiver 2 behind Gabe Davis. Interesting. Deontay Hardy is the slot wide receiver over Khalil Shakir at this point. Wow, Nyheim Hines got relegated to 4th on the running back depth chart. But let's take a look at the Rams depth chart. Barry Blessing D says, does your model take in correlation? No, it doesn't. I mean, what do you mean by correlation? Are you talking in terms of like drafting players? Take the Shy Guy says, yo, what's good? What's up, Tank? Fortunate that you hopped on so late. We're actually we're winding on the show. We're at our last pick. So I don't have time for another draft right after this one, but we might hop back on the stream a little bit later after I have a few meetings. And he says Puka does go well with Stafford. He does. One thing my model is also missing right now is rookies. So one of the top priorities on my list of to-dos for the model is to build in rookies. Help him says you late today, buddy. Yeah, he is. He is a little bit late to the show today. But okay. Going through the team one more time. Our quarterbacks are Josh Allen and Matthew Stafford. Running backs, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Tyler Algier, Leonard Fournette. Wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jamison Williams, Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson, Chase Claypool. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts and Dalton Kincaid. So let's see. Who should I take? Should I take Puka, Latavius Murray, or Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I think maybe since we have only 5 running backs, we go with our 6th. Maybe a league winner, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 18th round. Because our model like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Oh, where's CEH? I thought our model liked CEH. Where is our boy? Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Model likes Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Says he's going 42 picks too late. No fit Mac Jones going really late too. Isaiah Likely, Josh Palmer. Maybe Josh Palmer's the pick. Leonard Fournette going way too late. Clyde or Puka? Clyde or Puka? 9 wide receivers or 6 running backs? Screw it. We're going Clyde. I like Clyde. I like Clyde to bounce back. Take the cheapest running back on the Kansas City Chiefs. I like that as our 18th round pick. Feels like Jerick McKinnon last year. Now this year it's Clyde Edwards-Helaire because Jerick McKinnon is going like the 11th, 12th round. Feels a little bit too expensive for Jerick McKinnon. Coleman says no Hunt. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Kareem Hunt is just like washed at this point. Yeah, the model doesn't even like Kareem Hunt in the 18th round. Kareem Hunt, I think, is done. His career feels done. He was fully healthy all of last year, and he didn't do anything. So, no Kareem Hunt. So, for the audio listeners at home, our final team is Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford at quarterback, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Tyler Algier, Leonard Fournette, Clyde Edwards-Helaire at running back. Our wide receivers are Cooper Kupp, DJ Moore, Deontay Johnson, Jamison Williams, Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Chase Claypool. And our tight ends are Kyle Pitts and Dalton Kincaid. So thank you all for joining me on the show again today. It's always a pleasure hosting you guys and walking through another Ball Mania draft with you all. I might do another stream a little bit later today, but I'm definitely doing a stream tomorrow at 10 p.m. We're doing our first guest stream with the founder of the Undroppables, my main man, Chuck. So make sure that you tune in, set an alarm, set a reminder for 10 p.m. tomorrow, because we're gonna have a good one for you guys. So again, thank you all, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.